This is Open Line.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Open Line. I'm Chuck Long, glad to be along with you for the next hour. Tonight, it's all about asking the expert. We are asking the attorney, and when we say expert, we really underline that in bold. We are talking about Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm. Now, the most exciting thing for me, and I think you as well, in the coming hour, is finally we have Kevin back in person. Kevin, it's so good to see you.
Man, is
I said it's been January 2020 since I saw you in person last.
He really got better looking. I don't know what he's been using, but he looks better today. But we're really just so excited to be back inside the studio. I have missed y'all, and you know, we've had a few little glitches where we would freeze, but tonight we're going to bring some good things, and we're so glad that you're joining us. We're back. The old team is back. I'm calling this the comeback tour.
I tell you, we're going to take it around the world.
All right, let's
Absolutely.
go. Hold them back. Hold them down. Chuck's too enthusiastic. We're going toward the 4th of July. Let the fireworks begin.
Well, I think they've already started. Actually, great jacket, too, by the way, Kevin. I'm really liking this.
This was part of the comeback tour. I said, we need to mix it up a little. Chuck is the fashion king. So if you really want to know the truth, he's got all the fashion secrets. So I thought, well, we'll lighten it up. Spring, it's June, and things are going to be really jumping. They got the steeplechase tomorrow. Nashville. Yep. All over the world will be coming to Nashville.
Absolutely.
So let them run and let them jump.
All right, so if you are just tuning in, we are so glad that you did. Like I said, a very special night. We've got Kevin back in the studio with us. Kevin's one of our all-time most popular guests when he's here. I think it's pretty obvious. I've said this many times. I've been working with Kevin for years. This is like the education that I get every time. The University of Kevin. That's what I'm attending.
Tell it.
And you know, the beauty of it too, Kevin, is when people call in with a question, a legal question, and I know it runs from A to Z, runs the gamut, you feel like, well, this is something that particularly pertains to me. Then you ask the question and you realize so many people can benefit from the answer you have, Kevin.
It is so true. And from my perspective, you know, I heard it said by a great man, he said, learn your craft well and give it away. The rest, well, that doesn't make sense, but it makes all the sense. If we've got some answers and we can help you take some stress, help your family, protect your assets, please tune in, call, because we want you to have this information. Information is not knowledge, is power. So this is a great time. We love to share. I get a lot of phone calls with people saying, hey, we watch you all the time. We love it. Chuck will never be offended when you come up and talk to him and say, I watch you on TV, nor will I, because you're really our friends, and we thank you for letting us come in and share with you.
Absolutely. And so those questions, we know, again, Kevin's been coming here for years. The questions, when we say they run the gamut, whether or not it's about estate planning, planning your will, you've been involved in a car accident, in a traffic accident, a bike accident, there's something happening with your elderly care, there's something happening in a nursing home, in a hospital, so many different things. Problems sometimes with the neighbors.
Come on.
You don't know where to turn, don't know where to go. Right here is your chance. You see the number on your screen, 737-7587 is the number. Get online with us. We'll get to as many of those in-person calls as we can this evening.
Yeah. The truth is, if sometimes just a little conversation, I know sometimes people have so much anxiety and fear. Well, hello, come in. Tonight is your night. Call right in and we'll try to take some of that off of you. It'll make you sleep better. And the decisions, you know, so many times, I think I know the answer, but you just would like to hear it said again, and it perhaps can give you some options. There's always options. You can stand on that.
Absolutely. And you know, another thing, we're going to get to our callers, like I said, just as soon as we can, but we wanted to mention too, you know, a lot of times people say, well, do I need a lawyer? Do I need that advice? Do I need, you know, a lot of times, I think almost all the times, it costs you more not to have a lawyer than it does.
Tell it again.
You know?
My great student here, Chuck. And you know, I talk to people every day. I had a guy in there, he's the same age as my son. And I said, look, if you were my own son, this is what I would do. We take a proactive approach, not a reactive approach. Let's brainstorm this, come up with some ideas, and I'll guarantee you the odds are in our favor, we're coming out. If you do nothing, you get nothing. If you sit around, you'll get hit.
Absolutely. All right, well, what do you say? Let's head to the phones. It's called Open Line, and that's what we're doing right now.
I'm glad to be back.
Jacob is on the line with his first caller of the evening.
How you doing today? And Kevin, I'm digging the suit. I just got to get that right out there.
Thank you. I need a little encouragement. I can't let Chuck do all the fashion. Please, thank you, Jake. Go ahead.
No problem. My question is, when a case, a misdemeanor or felony case, but in this case, a misdemeanor case, is where it goes, where the police department, the detective files the report. I guess it goes to the ADA, and the ADA has to see if the grand jury will prosecute.
Yes.
But any indictment that an ADA does the actual district attorney, i.e. Glenn Funk, does it have to cross his desk to have it signed?
Okay.
Or not? Because I think I may have a conflict of interest where the DA knows a friend of mine who got brought up on charges, and he wants to see if that's a conflict of interest since the previous DA, Tory, that it may be a conflict of interest and that he could rescind his admission of his plea, which was a where you got where you do, if you don't do anything,
Yep.
it gets erased from your
That's a pretrial diversion. Yes. Okay, great. Pretrial diversion is you can be in a pretrial status. You may be guilty, but you don't have to plead. It comes around, they'll check your TBI report. Sometimes they ask for a post-trial diversion. These are decisions made by the district attorney. The real world is we sit in a room just like this, the district attorney's here, defense attorney's here. We try to say why you need to give this guy pretrial diversion, and you're listening. Most of the DAs, now he's raised a question. Is there a conflict of interest? Well, listen, there are so many DAs. Sometimes things get passed and things get overlooked, or sometimes we forget who Chuck Long is. He Charles Long, or is this the same Chuck Long? So anything can happen, and you always should discuss that with your lawyer and let that lawyer, once he understands, can he go to the district attorney and say, there may be a conflict of interest here, and let's discuss it. If it is, then we need to change gears, and perhaps that may be something that you could use to get out of that kind of situation. What is it? Defense attorneys always love to say it's a misunderstanding. This wasn't this Chuck Long, that was another Chuck Long. And now that we've cleared the air, let's dismiss this and move to the next case.
Absolutely. Jacob, we appreciate you kicking the show off for us.
Yeah, you did
Absolutely.
good.
Great question. And we also like to mention, a lot of times I know you're thinking, well, there's a legal question that pertains to me personally, or sometimes we found that you have a friend or a family member that you've been talking with. You just want to give them some advice. Give us a call, ask that question for them, and then get back with them.
Absolutely.
All right back to the lines right now. We are going to the caller. Caller, you're on the line with us. We're glad you're here on Open Line. Do you have a question or comment for Kevin?
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question. They came to my son's house multiple times, and then they search, and then they took money, valuables, computers, a lot of other things, and they left the doors wide open, and everything's upside down, and they took him. They did not let him even take care of the doors or any other things. It was wide open. And they took him, and then when I asked for this item to be returned, I am out of state. I just got here, and I see this frightening scene, and they said, no, we don't return the money or anything. They did not find a weapon or drugs or illegal thing. They just want to keep whatever they found for themselves. That's one issue. So he's locked up, and then when they said it's $500,000 for him to get out on bond, and without a lawyer, they just decided $500,000. So he's locked out, and I am suffering with cancer and chemo and out of state. I want him to be out so he can take care of a lot of things. He's from here. I'm not from here. And we said, I don't know.
We are so sorry to hear about your situation. First thing, you've always got to try to get to a lawyer immediately. If someone were to go in and say, we have information that leads us to believe that there's illegal activity, drugs, weapons, whatever the case may be, they can go to the police, draw up a search warrant. That has to go in front of a judge, and if a judge signs it, they're going to execute the search warrant, and when they come in, they tear up everything, they look for everything. Here's the warrant. And what are they looking for? Who really knows? But what they're going to get, they're going to seize the phones, they're going to seize the computers. If you've got some cameras, we're going to seize those, and they will have all that in the search warrant of what they're trying to get. And then they'll go back and look. And so if they see illegal activity or what they believe to be text messages and things, they can build a case. So much of the time they find drugs. Sometimes they get tipped off and the drugs are removed. The guns are removed. So you need to get a lawyer immediately, attack the search. That's a Fourth Amendment. Illegal search and seizure. What's the lawyer going to say? Illegal search and seizure. What's the DA going to say? That's a legal search and seizure. So and if they cannot resolve it, then the lawyer can file a motion to suppress that search warrant, and it's called fruits of the poisonous tree. So if the search warrant was not correct, if we can prove it's not, all that evidence, even though I found all the drugs, even though I found the guns, it's fruit of the poisonous tree. That's criminal law, and it would be suppressed.
All right, good to know. So
if you
we
get that
appreciate
suppressed,
that call.
they'll dismiss the charge.
Absolutely. Like we said, we are here for you for the next hour, about next 45 minutes. So if you have one of those legal questions, make sure you get on the line with us. 737-7587 is the number. We're going to take a short break. When we continue, Open Line continues as well.